Hey, cyberspace, what's happening? Austin Bach here, Lumberjack, St. Joseph, Michigan. I am number 2, episode number 4, right? Just out here trying out some new knives. Maybe going back on the Blackhawk train here. That was a sweet noise. But we'll see. If I throw like that, definitely going to go back on the Blackhawk train. And, yeah, it's been a minute. I think the last time I got on here was back in right before Ohio. It's just been a really, really, really busy season. I don't know if any of you all feel that way, but it's been busy in just weird ways. But anyway, no excuses, right? We move on, we press forward, and we throw sharp stuff. It was good to see all of you out in Virginia. Excited to see most of you back over in Indy, coming up here pretty soon. And yeah, just excited to throw more stuff. The season's been pretty crazy. You guys know not to talk about elections, politics, and religion at the table. Well, guess what? I'm going to talk about all three right now. So brace yourselves, right? I'm not going to share my political stance because I don't think it really matters, honestly. And some of you may be like, yeah, it matters so much. And yeah, it's true. I know who I'm going to vote for. And if you want to talk about it, I'd be more than happy to. But I think what I really want to talk about is that there is, in my opinion, and from what I have come to discover, there is nothing politically, physically, emotionally, globally, that we as humans can do to fix all the crap that's happening in the world right now. What I have learned, and one thing my church, Overflow Community Church, here in Benton Harbor, Michigan, Knife 3 taking a beating. If you guys ever want to check them out, I'll post a link to them. You can follow along. We just finished a series just talking about the government, right? And it's a really good series, right? Because the focus is not on our global government, right? If you are obsessed with politics, if you are caught up in the election year and all that entails, I first want to remind you that we are all human beings. We all make mistakes. None of us have the right answers. What works on one side is going to hurt another side. And what works on that side is going to hurt another side. Nobody wins. Unfortunately, sadly enough, no human, no person is going to win. Okay? Everybody's going to be hurt in some way or another. Right? And that's where my main man, take it more seriously, my Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ, that's where he comes into play. Right? Jesus, when he was on the earth, promised a kingdom that was not of this world. If you could imagine a perfect society, perfect leadership, the right decisions ever made, every time a decision was needed, that's Jesus, right? And so during this election year, during this political season, I challenge you to, every time you get caught up in the politicking, caught up in the, well, they're going to do this, and they promised this, and those guys are liars, to take a step back and go, is this really going to end good for anybody? Because most likely your answer is going to be no. And if that's the case, if your answer is no, is everybody going to win? That's not the case. But with Jesus, everybody does win. If we learn how to submit to his government, learn how to let him be Lord and King of our lives and everything that entails our lives, our governments, our schools, our politics, we let him lead, he'll know the right decisions to make. And sadly, we think that church or the people involved in church equates Jesus, and that's not true. Okay? There are plenty of churches, plenty of people within the church community that are not following, not doing the right things, that are pushing their own agendas and their own views, and not truly knowing Jesus. Jesus even said, many of you in the end days will say, Lord, Lord, and Jesus will say, I never knew you. He said, I do signs, wonders, and miracles in your name. And he said, I never knew you. And that's scary, right? I don't ever want to be on that position. I pray that he knows me. I pray that my life lived is one that gives him glory and honor, and that I'm not ashamed of what he's done in my life. And I do know that when he is in charge, when I allow him to help me make decisions, my life is way better off. But when I get in control, when the flesh, that gets in control, it doesn't ever end well. Last thing I want to leave you with, right, during this politicking season is in Ephesians, the writer, Paul, he had a conversion where Jesus literally knocked him off his high horse and did some crazy things in this guy's life. He was basically a murderer of Christians and one of the baddest religious leaders of that time, gangbanger style. Like, he literally was a bad dude. Hunted down Christians and slaughtered them. And he writes that we are not, us in the flesh, we are not at war with flesh and blood. Right? That your neighbor, the person that you disagree most with, the person that loves Trump, the person that loves Kamala, that person, they're not your enemy. Trump is not your enemy. Kamala is not your enemy. They are merely flesh and blood. They are fighting a war that they think they are the right ones in it. And who knows, right? We don't know. But the person that you're disagreeing with on Facebook, that person is not your enemy. The person that you are at odds with at work because they just won't shut up about Donald Trump, or they won't be quiet about Kamala and how she's the best, right? They're not your enemy. So I challenge you to look at the people around you, look at the people that drive you insane, and don't view them as the enemy. There is a war going on for your mind, your heart, and your soul. Anything that draws you away from the like that, anything that draws you away from the perfect leadership, from the love of Jesus, from the Father's heart, anything that draws you away, let's go. It's not good. It's the enemy, right? You may know him as Satan, the devil, whatever you want to call him, demons. His army is prowling around looking to devour you like a lion. It's prowling around looking for people who are non-focused, who aren't following Jesus. And his job is to make your life here on earth a living hell. And so, what can you do to contribute life, right? To contribute hope, to contribute joy? That's my challenge. If you're a Christian, what are you doing this election season to bring unity? What are you doing this election season to bring community, to love people, to bring hope, and to inspire? If you're not a believer, that doesn't mean that you can't still try not to be divisive. We're trying to be a country, we're called, right? The United States of America. What are you doing to unite? Because a country that is divided, will fall, right? It's guaranteed. A country that's divided upon itself cannot stand. It just will implode. And so we have to do whatever we can to unite, not to divide. And I think that goes in every single realm, right? Within axe throwing, within knife throwing, we got to do whatever we can to unite, not to divide, to bring hope and joy and peace to people, even in the midst of trying times, right? Even in the midst of times that are hard and rough. So I'm gonna stop rambling, right? Be a neighbor to people. Be a godsend to people. Be someone that people want to be around. It's your goal during this political season. Don't be the person that just spews fire and hate and cruelty and anger. And don't be that type of person. Nobody wants to be around that type of person. Be the type of person that everybody wants to be around. Right? I said it once, and I love saying it. I always forgot that I said it for a while. But Rob Leverance always reminded me, throw knives, not shade. I love you guys. I'll see you soon in Indy and hopefully up in Jackson. And be somebody that people want to be around. Hopefully, that's what I am to you, because you guys are a lot of that to me. Peace. Fun.